Hey everyone, welcome back to Installation 00 and to this most detailed breakdown. Today we'll be continuing our look into the respective variants of MJOLNIR and discussing their design differences, the lore behind the variants, and theories on their functionality. This is a growing series that will continue into the future. In the last video, focusing on the GUNGNIR variant, I asked which variant should be covered next, and the most frequently seen reply to this was an even split between the Scout and Recon variants. Interestingly enough, they're actually both products of the same development program, so today we are covering the Scout variant, but don't fret. The Recon variant is already recorded and uploaded and scheduled to release tomorrow. How's that for customer service? As this is a variant breakdown, a lot of the base systems are identical to the various MJOLNIR permutations, so for full information on the individual generations and permutations of MJOLNIR, see the relevant breakdown as listed in the description. But for now, we will just look at the Scout components and their functions, as we give them the most detailed treatment. Scout class MJOLNIR, also designated as MJOLNIR Powered Assault Armor S variant, is a variant of MJOLNIR Powered Assault Armor that was developed by the Materials Group and tested at both the Beta 5 Division Ordnance Testing Facility out of Swanbourne, Perth, Western Australia, and the WG Facility 5832 B5D. The Scout and Recon variants were originally conceived and developed as parallel variants in respective projects aiming to develop them both into a singular variant of MJOLNIR with superior stealth capabilities and no impact on endurance. The MJOLNIR PAA/RS program developed the two variants for the Gen 1 Mark V and Mark VI platforms and were upgraded for the Gen 2 platform, as well as limited adaptation into the Gen 3 platform. Of the two tandem projects, the Scout variant focused more specifically on highly advanced materials to increase its stealth capabilities. While it's not specifically stated what these advanced materials were, it is hypothetically possible that the variant may have actually made use of nanolaminate, due to the very precise material properties that can be imparted to the material based on its composition. In this technique, various metals and alloys are layered in a process that makes the material fully dense, while also layering different atomic structures of metals and alloys in specific orientations and at thicknesses on the sub-micron scale. This allows the nanolaminate to be grown, atom by atom, using advanced deposition techniques that are designed with different stacking sequences and layer thicknesses to impart extremely specific materials properties and characteristics that would ultimately be expressed in the final material. This technique of layering materials on the nanoscale can be employed to create alloys with properties such as improved toughness, strength, thermal properties and corrosion that are a function of the interfaces in the nanolayers. They can be created by using a bath containing multiple metal ion elements. By changing the current at precise moments to select a different element, it can create a layered structure. Some nanolaminate alloys have been shown to have 8 times the resistance of carbon steels to degradation, in some cases no measurable degradation whatsoever. The Scout variant first made an appearance with the Mark IV platform, but was more or less isolated to just an advanced helmet variant. The only immediately obvious difference, other than the superficial aesthetics of the Scout variant for the Mark IV, was the optics attachment at the brim of the helmet just above the visor. This is an aesthetic which carried over to the Mark V variant. However, it also changed noticeably between the two marks, being much more reminiscent of its sister variant, the Recon helmet. The visor is a wide slit and possesses the advanced materials on the lower visor that are also seen on the Recon variant, and again maintaining the same optics suite attachment above the visor of the helmet. The Mark V Scout helmet is also compatible with the HURS, a hardened uplink remote sensor package particularly favoured by sniper units. The CBRN chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear module that attaches to the helmet's breathing vents and adds additional protection against the inhalation of dangerous substances, and the CNM command network module, which provides commanders in the field a comms uplink enabling communications and synchronization with UNSC battle networks. The Mark VI saw an expansion of the Scout armor set past just the helmet and now included a chest and shoulder attachment for the base Mark VI platform. The helmet has abandoned the optic suite attachment above the visor and instead elongated the brim of the helmet into a cap-like protrusion in tandem with a similar protrusion on the chin. This profile means that the visor appears more recessed into the helmet, which itself is now just a wide horizontal slit on the helmet. This likely serves to minimise on-visor reflection and glare that could potentially give away the position of an otherwise well-camouflaged scout operative. The chest consists of an H-shaped up-armoured plate over the normal upper torso of the Mark VI, with a pair of articulated plates attached to the underside of the plate. The chest of the Scout variant is seemingly just an up-armoured module, although the shape of it may suggest its function as providing a more flat, stable surface to pivot, move and rest upon when in a prone position during long-range sniping and reconnaissance operations. The presence of the two lights on the front face also suggests that the chest plate contains its own energy shield emitters, aiding in overall protection of the user. The shoulders are long angular pauldrons, with a large elongated and flattened front face. They also seemingly attach to the base armour just above the elbow as opposed to higher up on the shoulder. This may be to allow the user to more comfortably shoulder a sniper rifle without having a large shoulder pauldron in a position of interference while still maintaining sufficient protective capabilities to strikes from the sides. During early development of the Gen 2 variant, the materials group tested various form factors of the Scout helmet before settling on the sleek shape reminiscent of the Mark VI Gen 1 model. Testing, performed at the WG Facility 5832B5D for the Gen 2 version, was performed quickly, as by January 2553 a copy of the armour was already aboard the UNSC Infinity and was favoured by Class 8 FDOs, or Forward Deployed Operators, as it contained the most capable covert anti-tracking system and shroud induction packages available for use. The design very much followed the overarching aesthetics, function and features of the earlier Gen 1 Mark VI platform. This included ensuring the user can navigate a battlefield without generating a recognisable silhouette on enemy sensors. However, went a step further, as did many of the Gen 2 platforms, in implementation of onboard dumb AIs for the administration of numerous Gen 2 armour functions. Specifically, the Gen 2 Scout incorporates AI-assisted forward observation uplinks to direct aerospace and orbital strikes. The helmet has a groove on it that helps orientate shroud placements as well as a wide scan visor plate. The chest features a spectrum fracturing canopy emitter designed for extended active camouflage usage, showing that the Gen 2 platform and the specific Scout variant was being adapted and optimised for compatibility with armour upgrade modules and abilities reverse engineered from Covenant technologies. This also sported the X900 Boulder emission shroud system, Swan B5, that masks extraneous radioactive emissions, again reducing the chances of detection and increasing the variant's ability to remain in stealth operations for prolonged periods. The reactor pack has the Bravado 120T5 fitted stabilizer that guards against reactor pings, and also the kit includes an IR signal modulator to reduce the overall thermal signature of the variant. It is worth noting that a single one-off variant of the Gen 2 was commissioned in exactly the aesthetics of the original Mark V variant by none other than June A266. The Scout variants from earlier generations only saw limited adaptation into the Gen 3 platform, focusing specifically on the helmets. The Gen 2 Scout helmet's design was used for the Gen 3 Celox class Mjolnir helmet, whose manufacturing template was recovered after a daring information sanitation strike on Oni Ordnance Testing Facility at Swanbourne. The variant is compatible with the TAS Moth Acid attachment developed by the Watershed Division. Moth Acid is a Xenomaterials Exploitation Group codename for a specialised instrumentation package used to detect, analyse and identify alien artefacts and signal sources. Spartans have adapted that equipment to interface with Mjolnir fire control systems. The helmet variant is also compatible with the AN-PZY-6000 Argon Ground Reconnaissance and Surveillance, or RS modules, which were introduced during the Covenant War as aerial and orbital sensor platforms became scarce, as well as the HULI-RS Facelift, a sensor package that adds a second electro-optical suite and BattleNet updatable ECCM module. The Gen 1 Mark V Scout helmet's design was adapted for use on the Gen 3 platform and was the material group's testbed for standardising sensor interlink protocols and software drivers for external software packages, and was compatible with the CNM or Command Network Module Farndale and Typhon, the HUL or Hardened Uplink Courier Pearl, Flamingo and Argon, the Mark 55 CBRN or Chemical, Biological, Radiological and Nuclear Module, the TAC RS Starlight and Willow, and finally, of course, the up-armoured Type E3 attachment. Remember, if you want to learn more about the baseline Mjolnir platforms that these variants are compatible with, pop over to the channel and give them a watch. While you're there, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon, that way when I next put out a breakdown you'll be notified the second it hits the shelves. And let me know in the comments what variant you want me to cover next, with the exception of the Recon because that's coming tomorrow. Anyway, until then, thanks for watching, stick your comments down below and I look forward to what you have to say. And quick shout outs and thank yous to my patrons: Spartan10148, my devastatingly effective Metarch class ancilla; Silver Spartan, Leon, Ram, Prophet Bear and Irrefutable Justice, my ever-vigilant monitors; the careful tending of Alvin, Andrew, Brian, Cameron, Darian, Devon, Phantom, Flaming Halo, Cabal, Legions Lost, Michael, Spartan0137, the Cave Potato and Wolf Eclipse, my sub-monitors, my growing fleet of Strato Sentinels, and my most loyal of enforcers, and all my awesome Sentinels, Sentries and Constructors who have jumped aboard on Patreon to help support the channel. You have my debt of gratitude. And, as ever, Todd Morrison, my Tier 0 Transcendent YouTube member. Thanks for keeping my installation running on that glorious vacuum energy. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, as it all helps the channel grow and helps me to continue to deliver this kind of content for you guys. And if you're ready for your next steps in evolution, head over to Patreon and become a patron there, or become a YouTube member to attain a higher state of being. Much love to all of you, take it easy everyone, and find peace in the domain.